You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, 2 sweets, the travel kitty, and a big girlfriend, Angel's really pretty. I have a pony and we share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer I stay cool. Do a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokes dog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and Super Smiles. Welcome to a Super Smiley Adventure on Pet Life Radio, the largest pet radio network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, the pet lifestyle coach, here with my handsome co-host, 2-time shelter dog, Super Smiley, who's the ambassador of kindness for the Animal Film Festival. Go, Super Smiley! His latest documentary was filmed at the University of Georgia with the Georgia Bulldogs. That's DAWGS, that's their mascot, the Bulldogs. It's called A PSA for Kindness, Go Dogs. It's only 2 minutes long, and we would love it if everybody would help us share kindness around the world by watching it at kindnessfilms.com. And you can become a Super Smiley Kindness Ambassador just by sharing it. And if you write us a review, we may read it right here on a Super Smiley Adventure. And here on a Super Smiley Adventure radio show, we explore adventures where animals lead. These could be adventures for fun, or missions of animal advocacy, or inner journeys of self-discovery, where our pets become our healers and our teachers. As for me, I'm the pet lifestyle coach. I travel the country with Smiley, helping people adopt the right pet for their lifestyle, and then I help train them so they keep that pet forever. And today we are so excited to have 2 guests with us, 2 young, real movie stars who love animals. They just worked in Africa with wildlife and a dog, and have worked with mega human stars from Susan Sarandon to Michael Keaton. First with us is Ella Ballentine. Hey, Ella.
Hi.
Hi, Ella. Let me tell everybody about you. Ella is a mega accomplished actress for her very young age. She's acted opposite huge stars like Susan Sarandon in Calling. She worked with Martin Sheen in Lucy Maud Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables and Lawrence Fishburne in Standoff. Her films have played at the world-renowned Cannes Film Festival. Her television credits include Rain and Saving Hope, and now she's starring in the feature film Against the Wild 2, Survive the Serengeti, where she worked with all sorts of animals. Welcome, Ella Ballentine, to a Super Smiley Adventure.
Hi.
Ella, we are so happy to have you here on our show. We explore adventures where animals lead us. And I know you were just on a mega adventure with Against the Wild 2. Can you tell us about your movie?
Yeah, we filmed in Africa, and it's about these 2 kids who are going to visit their dad who works at the mine, and their plane crashes, and they are lost in Africa, so they have to find their way to the mine, and they meet a bunch of animals on the way.
Wow, so you said that your plane crashes in the movie, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
So y'all are left out in the wild, the 2 kids. And speaking of being out in the wild with animals, I read that you're a champion for wildlife conservation. Is that right?
Yeah.
So tell me, why is it so important that we all get on board and help wildlife? What are your thoughts on that? Tell us.
Well, we're all a part of nature, and they all have feelings too, and that's kind of how I've looked at it my whole life. I have a dog, so she's basically our family, and I call her my sister. And caring for our planet, caring for our nature, everything around us, it all comes back around to help us out. And yeah, everything just deserves to be loved.
Oh, I love that, Ella. That was so well said, that we all live together on the earth, whether we're a human or an elephant or a giraffe or a dog. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
I love that. And you're such a good spokesperson at such a young age. Thank you so much. I hope that you can influence your friend, not only the big adults like us, but I hope you can influence friends, that are your age too, because that would be a big thing for the world as you all grow up. And I want to hear more about your film and your work with animals and your co-star, John Paul Ruttan. He'll be joining us right after the break. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's hard to find time for your furry family member. That's where Camp Bow Wow comes in. All-day play and overnight camp, daycare and boarding for dogs. Everything is included. Large play areas for fun and exercise. spacious cabins, comfy cots, even live camper cams to watch from a computer or smartphone. Camp Bow Wow offers the best care and is the place to go where a dog can be a dog. For locations and more information, visit campbowwow.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with Ella Ballentine. Welcome back, Ella.
Hi, well, thank you.
So, Ella, as I mentioned, you've worked with so many human stars, Susan Sarandon, Martin Sheen, Casper Van Dien, but I know that there was a dog who worked with you on this movie. What was it like to work with a dog?
Oh, he was so cute. His name was Yoshi, and he's our companion in the film, and he's with us throughout the whole adventure, and he was so sweet. Working with him was such a delight. He would get very tired very quickly in the hot African sun, but we really catered to him, kept him in the shade, gave him lots of water, and he was so sweet to work with. He was very well tamed. He did everything on cue. It was so easy, and he was very, very cute.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So when you weren't working, did you get to hang out with him in the shade a little bit? Did y'all get to rest a little bit together?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love animals. So any chance I would get, I would go and I'd be petting him, or I'd be petting an elephant. Absolutely anything I could get my hands on.
Wow, that's what I heard I watched the trailer. I'm very excited to see the movie, by the way, which is out on DVD right now. Congratulations, Ella, on the movie release. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you mentioned the elephant. I know you and John Paul, your co-star, you got to actually interact with some of the wildlife, right? Actually interact with them. Tell us about the elephant.
Yeah, well, it was absolutely crazy. It still kind of feels like a dream to me. So I thought, in the movie, we meet these elephants on our way, and I thought that would be it. But actually, some elephants end up rescuing us at one point. So they lift us up by their trunk, which is absolutely mesmerizing. And we had another scene where we're sleeping in a tree and we're woken up by a giraffe.
Oh, my gosh.
Was really fun. Yeah, so it was absolutely crazy. All these things that I don't know if anybody else in the world can say that they've done that. It's absolutely fun. That's
amazing. Right. At your young age, you can probably say that you've done things that most of the people in the entire world have not ever done. What does that feel like?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And tell everyone, because we're talking about you actually filmed in Africa, in Tanzania, in the Serengeti, with these wild animals, but they were on a wildlife nature preserve, so they're all safe, right? Tell us about the wild animals you encountered. Tell us.
Well, so when we were working, our main base where we were staying and sleeping was an animal reserve. So all of these animals, some of them were actually just rescued because either their mother was died or was killed, and so they were just brought up. And what was really interesting was I kept thinking about these elephants, we were working with them all day, and I was thinking, what if they're tired? But it's actually elephants, they need a routine. They need to be busy all the time, or they actually just get really depressed. It was really fun, and everything was very safe. I always was making sure that all of the animals felt comfortable. But they always gave them food. Elephants really love oranges. Giraffes really like Lay's sour cream and onion chips.
What?
Yeah, so it was really great, and I learned a lot about the different wildlife and how they interact, and everything that we were doing with them, they liked doing. They never felt tired, and we would sometimes have to end the day early just to make sure that they felt okay. It was great.
Oh, that's wonderful. And actually, I love that you mentioned all of that you all were caretaking the animals and watching them, but you were in their environment, all that hot dryness. That's where they live. That's their home. So they're were more used to it than you were, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think because I was just kind of felt like I was in heaven, just surrounded by all these animals and in the hot sun. And we were filming this last year around this time, so it was pretty cold in Canada.
Okay.
So I felt very happy to be in the hot sun.
Oh, right, because you're actually from Canada, so you got to go away from the snow and out into the heaven, as you said, the heaven with all the animals.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous of you, Ella. I love what you did. I would love to do that. You had my dream job. Good for you. But Ella, I do have horses. I have horses and dogs and cats and Super Smiley.
Oh, wow.
He's my doggy, my co-host here. And for me, they teach me so much about how to listen, how to be aware of their deep connections that they give us. And so you've already mentioned so much, but what do you feel like you gain from working with these animals? Like, what did they teach you or show you? Is there something specific you can share with us so we can learn it too?
Well, I think what I really took out from this, and I think that people from just watching the film are going to really take out, is a new love for African wildlife, and hopefully it's going to really bring out the big problems that Africa's having with poaching of rhinos and elephants. When we were there, I only saw one rhino that was just a wild one because we couldn't work with any because of such a big issue going on with all of them being killed for their horns, and it's just so devastating. And so that's what I really took out from it. And I hope that people watching the film, it's going to bring so much more awareness to the cause. Yeah.
That is so well said, Ella. You're such a good spokesperson. Yes, let's all be aware of the African wildlife and do whatever we can to keep them safe. That's what we want, right? Keep them safe, right, Ella? Yes. And Ella,
Definitely.
you mentioned you have a dog at home. Tell us about your personal dog.
Oh, well, her name's Molly. She's a border terrier. She's my best friend. She's so funny. As soon as I got home, I didn't want to let her go because we were in Africa for a month and a half, so it was a long time, and any animal I saw, I just kept thinking about her. She's very sassy. She always, she sleeps with me, and I feel like she takes up more of the bed than I do. Even though she's very tiny, so.
Well, border terriers, they're very, very smart dogs, and they're herding dogs, so I know she takes very good care of you, just like you take care of her, right? I love that.
Definitely.
I love that. And Ella, I want to share something with you. It's such a small world. In mentioning some of your co-stars, Super Smiley and I live in Malibu, and Martin Sheen, who you worked with on Green Gables, he goes to my church. Is that crazy?
Oh, really?
Yes. Martin goes to our church. We adore him. And Casper Van Dien, who you worked with on a Hallmark film, he's in my yoga class. Can you believe that? And wait, there's more. Yes, and there's more. Super Smiley and I both just acted in a Hallmark film called The Ultimate Legacy. So you and I have so much in common. We're like sisters. How about that?
That's hilarious. Tell them I say hello.
Oh, I will do that. And they will be, they'll just be so excited. Now, I'm going to tell them all the great work you're doing for animals. We just love your work. We love your mission, and you're such a wonderful spokesperson. Thank you so much for joining us on a Super Smiley Adventure.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to be looking for you in Against the Wild, which is out on DVD right now. So thank you, Ella. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
And I just love Ella Ballentine. And our Super Smiley Adventure is just getting going here. It is so fun that we have another star from Against the Wild 2, the young actor who stars with Ella, John Paul Ruttan. Hi, John Paul.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. We're so happy that you're here. And I want everyone to know that John Paul has a long list of credits, too. He's played Tom Hardy's son in This Means War with Reese Witherspoon, which I love that movie. He starred in RoboCop with Michael Keaton. Love that series of Michael Keaton. And his first feature film was at 8 years old in The Defender with Woody Harrelson. John Paul, welcome to a Super Smiley Adventure.
Thank you.
So, John Paul, your work as an actor is so deep and fabulous for your young age. So, first, I want to ask, how did you get into acting? Did you just always know you wanted to be an actor?
Well, not until I was only 6 years old that I started watching movies, and I kind of looked at them and said, well, maybe I should give that a try. Soon out, I started doing commercials. I got an agent, and it just really picked up from there.
Wow. So literally at 6 years old, you saw the television. You're like, I can do that. Is that what it was like?
It was kind of like that. My mom knew somebody else in the industry that she was really good friends with, so that kind of helped, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's so good. I mean, you're obviously right where you need to be. It's perfect. And I also hear that you like sports. It seems like it was pretty physical out there in the Serengeti. What was it like to be out there in Tanzania, Africa? What was that like?
Well, Africa was actually, it was pretty hot. Some days would like rain and it would kind of be like really, you were unsure what's going to happen, but it was always at some point in the day really sunny. It was just really nice out. It was definitely not like anywhere in the north up here, but definitely was amazing, and it was just so warm and humid. You could like actually like smell like different air, and it was just awesome.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And we're going to hear more from John Paul Ruttan and his work with the animals right after this break. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
They called it elephant skin. It was rough, wrinkly, like a Brillo pad.
His hair was falling out in clumps.
Petey stopped eating and all his hair fell out.
Our golden retriever, Sundance, he scratched incessantly. There was hair all over.
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa. The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Within 2 weeks, the shedding slowed down to almost none. The scratching went away after a few days, and Sundance's coat was starting to get shiny and glossy.
It's a 180 turnaround. His skin has cleared up. He's not in pain.
If your dog has shedding, dry skin, excessive scratching,
do the Dinovite.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry Ryan, and I'm on a Super Smiley Adventure.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with John Paul Ruttan, one of the stars of Against the Wild 2. Welcome back, John Paul.
Hi.
So, John Paul, what was it like for you to work on the set with a dog? Have you ever worked with a dog before?
Yeah, I did before in a movie called Shelby, which I was the lead in, and it was a dog I actually co-starred with, and so this was the second time working with a dog.
And what's it like on a set when you've got a dog there? Obviously, you've got the humans and the director and everybody there. How does the dog interact that's different than working with a person?
I think definitely it was really fun, and always having a dog on set just makes life really fun. Just you get to play around with it off set, and we really got to actually be friends, I guess, kind of, if that was the right word for it. But I think it's just really cool to have a dog on set whenever you're ever working or something. It just makes your life a lot easier and more exciting.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's perfect what you just said, because, there are days like Take Your Dog to Work Day, and dogs are our friends, I think. So I think just having a dog around any place is a good thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. Anywhere. They're just so loving.
Yeah, they are. And then also, in addition to the dog, Ella and I were just talking about that even more rare than that, you got to work up close and personal with an elephant and other wildlife. Tell us about your experience with these wild creatures.
Well, definitely. I worked with a whole variety range of animals, elephants, everything. It was just so amazing. I got to get picked up by an elephant in the movie. That was probably one of the best things I've done in my life. I don't think many people could say that in Toronto, that, I was by an elephant. But no, it was so cool. It was just I held onto its trunk and it swung me around. It was amazing. And it was just, it felt so safe and warming to be around all these animals that it's different than what I see every day in my hometown life. And it was just such a cool experience, and I can't even say anything about it. It's so cool.
Well, yes, absolutely. I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to get the feeling, because you're so good about describing it in a visceral way. But what was that like the very first time? Did you sit in the elephant's, did he make a little seat for you to sit in? How did that happen? Or did you just hang on to the trunk and he slung you up in the air? How did that work? How did it go?
Well, the time that I got swung up by the trunk is it, do you want to know about the trunk, or do you want to know the first time I ever met an animal?
The first time that he picked you up, the first time you got to touch him and actually work with him picking you up. What did that feel like? What was it like?
Well, the first time that I got picked up, I was a little bit scared, honestly. Just at the start, a little hesitant. But the trainers did it first, and they showed how they've been practicing for months about how it's been lifting these big logs and it's been practicing for the film. Okay. And I definitely think that the first time I was up there, I lost my breath for a minute. And then once it put me down, I was just wow, that's just, it's so safe. And it was kind of like riding a roller coaster, except such a different experience. And that I did it a couple more times, and it just got more fun by the minute. And it was just crazy.
And one of the things that I especially love about this film is that in the film, the characters, you help the elephant and the elephant helps you and your sister, your film sister. And I think that's such a beautiful lesson for us in real life, working to help animals. Can you talk about that theme a little bit in the film?
Well, definitely, like, the theme about how the elephant's, like, helping us, the wildlife just treating us back. And I think it's just definitely awesome to be in a movie, just to have that, like, little aspect in a movie just kind of brings more of, like, a heartwarm feel to it. And it really just incorporates as much as you can of the animals and how they're really just not, like, advertising how they're, like, terrible animals. They're really nice and they're just totally out there to just go, not to just go and touch out there, like, at the zoo or something, but definitely just to, like, respect, I guess, and be aware of what's happening right now. And
I love that. I love that you use the word respect. And this kind of gets to my next question, and you might have already answered it, but I just want to bring it up too, because your co-stars, Ella Ballentine, who plays your sister, and Jerry Ryan, who plays your mom, they were both on our show here, and I asked both of them my favorite question. So, John Paul, are you ready for my favorite question?
Yep.
Okay, here it is. For me, I know that animals are teachers, that if we can get really quiet and really watch them for who they are and listen to them, I believe we can learn something from every animal. So first, what do you think about that idea as a thought?
Learning about from animals?
Yeah, what we can learn from them. Like you mentioned, we can learn respect, and I know a lot of people learn patience. So I think that animals have lessons to teach. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree with that, 100%. Definitely being around the animals like almost every day when I walked outside of my room all the way till set, you definitely learn a lot about them. They're very protective of their families, and it's so interesting to watch. They're very strong and they're kind of sturdy, but they're also kind of heartwarming, and I think you can learn a lot about that, as in, like, definitely they're not harmful creatures, like, or animals. They're just all so, like, loving, and yeah, it's pretty much, I guess, it.
Yeah, I love that you said that they were with their family group, their families, and my dogs, my horses, I have horses, dogs, and cats, and for me, they are my family. You know, we just bond with them so deeply. And Jerry also said that on the way to set, you all would ride in a Jeep or something like that right through the other wildlife. Do you remember that? Did you experience that with her, riding through the herds?
Yeah, I do remember. We were in the Jeep just going to set sometimes, and even in one scene we were with that, and we were just riding across rocks and on the plains, and it was just amazing. They were all tackling around in, like, groups and, like, the different animals everywhere. It was just so cool to picture in my mind again.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you for sharing that picture with us, because I'm envisioning it too. You're so descriptive. I love this. So what was your favorite scene to shoot? I imagine there were probably lots and lots and lots, but if you had to say, what was your very, very favorite moment?
My very favorite moment of, oh my God, that's so hard, of the film would be...
I knew it. Well, I knew that.
We've already talked about the elephant trunk thing, so I'm going to try to find something else. But I definitely have to say, some of the scenes when we're just in the night, I think being a boy, I don't know if that's just it, but just some scenes in the night, we got to have these, like, torches of fire, and that just set me off. That was amazing. It just gave me so much, like, I really know how to describe it, but, like, spiritual, like, feelings. Like, I was in the middle of Africa with a torch with a fire, like, lit on the end of it. I was swinging it around. I don't know. It was just kind of a dream, but that was definitely really fun to shoot.
That is so cool. Yes, that seems to me, I think of the word primitive, but I mean that in a great way, like the real primitive, the real thing, back in the animals, back with the animals. And that's what the feeling I get from you. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you mean?
I guess, kind of, yeah.
And this was certainly an extremely exotic location, just from what you just described, really exotic. Have you gotten to work in any other exotic locations in your career?
Not really, actually. This has definitely been the biggest trip for me yet.
Well, this was a good one for your first exotic location. I think you did it. This is really
definitely good. It set the record.
Yes, and earlier when I was talking with Ella, I mentioned that Martin Sheen goes to our church in Malibu, and one of your former co-stars, Michael Keaton, has also visited our church, and I love Michael's work. He's one of my very favorite actors. So just backtracking or going off the path just a little bit, what was it like to work with Academy Award winner Michael Keaton? What was that like?
Oh, that was awesome. I have to say, that was pretty cool. Meeting him, like, really working with him, just talking to him was like an experience. And definitely, he's just kind of cool. He's actually a really great guy, and you'd think of him like a big movie star or stuff like that, but he's actually just a really heart-down, like, real guy and down to earth.
Awesome. Just like you, John Paul, right?
I hope so.
And John Paul, do you have a place where we can follow you and keep up with your project, like a website or social media or anything? How do we know where you are? Because I'd love to follow you, see what you're doing.
Oh, well, on Instagram, you can check me out at John Paul Ruttan. Same for Twitter. And then on YouTube, there's a link to my channel, which is on my Instagram bio.
Very, very cool. And I want to say that you all can see all of Super Smiley's latest projects with the University of Georgia researches for kindness among the dogs. You can see it at kindnessfilms.com or just Google Super Smiley PSA and watch it and share it to help Super Smiley share kindness around the world.
Cool.
Awesome. John Paul Ruttan, thank you so much for joining us on a Super Smiley Adventure. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, Megan.
Bye-bye. And thank you to our super producer, Mark Winter, for bringing a Super Smiley Adventure out to the world. And from all of us here at Pet Life Radio on a Super Smiley Adventure, we hope you love all your adventures with your pets. And until next time, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.